During those closures, patient drop-offs and pickups will take place at the West Tower Emergency Department entrances.
Former Lafayette Interim Police Chief Wayne Griffin's appeal on his termination is on hold. Wednesday's appeal before the Police and Fire Civil Service Board was over before the meeting even started. Griffin's attorney says she was not given documentation she requested from LCG. She asked for the Internal Affairs Standard Operating Procedure, which provides the guidelines for an appropriate internal affairs investigation. But LCG's attorney saying they don't have to provide that information. A district judge will have to determine if the documentation is required or not.
The reason I asked for the SOP is I believe it's relevant to the integrity of the investigation. My client was terminated, so it's the most serious discipline that can be rendered. So I believe to adequately defend him, I also get to determine the Lafayette Police Department's compliance with their own rules.
The Civil Service Board will meet again September the 14th with an update on requested documentation from both sides, and will set a hearing date thereafter, which could be in October.
The time now is 6:09. Still to come on GMA. It's been 1 year since the U.S. pulled out of Afghanistan. Joe St. George speaks with an Afghan refugee who was one of just a few thousand who escaped.
And we got ourselves another unsettled day today. Showers and storms back in the forecast. We'll have details on that coming up right after this.
We're the Goss family from Milton. Good morning, Acadiana.
Good morning, Acadiana.
From the KATC Weather Lab, here's Daniel's forecast.
Well, we've got some showers and thunderstorms down along the coastline this morning. A lot of heavy rainfall just offshore, and that has been out over through the coastal waterways off of St. Mary Parish. I think likely staying offshore. This doesn't look like it's going to be storming northwards or anything like that, although we do have some showers that are popping up down along the coastline this morning, and ultimately going to see another round of showers and thunderstorms out there a little bit later on today. 75 degrees out for your current temperature. That is in New Iberia. Winds for the northeast at 5 miles an hour. Haven't had the fog issues in New Iberia this morning, or areas down along Highway 90 either. You get a little westwards out towards Abbeville though, and they have seen the visibility kind of fluctuate and has had moments where the fog has settled in. So there are areas of fog down along the coastline. It is just not as blanketing or as dense as what it is a little bit further towards the north. Still some clouds hanging around down there though. And again, watching out for some showers. You're going to want to keep an eye on the radar as you make your way through the day today. Kaplan's at 74, same with Abbeville. You've got New Iberia, Sycamore Point. They are both at 75 degrees, upper 70s between Grand Chenier and Pecan Island, low 80s in Cameron, mid 70s along Highway 90. New Iberia is at 75, Franklin, Morgan City both are at 74. Let's push our way to the afternoon. So we get to lunchtime. You've got sunshine breaking through. You're going to have temperatures sitting in the low to mid 80s out there. I think that as the sun gets going, it will start to churn things up and then lead to some cloud cover, some showers, some thunderstorms, which again, I think are going to be built a little bit further on into the day. We're going to be a little more stable out there this morning with some of that fog, but instability will start to arrive a little bit later in the afternoon. And then we're going to look at temperatures down sitting in the low 80s or so for that evening commute tonight. Offshore, you've got winds at about 5 to 10 knots are coming out of the south. Seas will stay at about 1 to 2 feet, unless of course you're around some of those thunderstorms, in which case it's going to be a little choppier and a little breezier, obviously. Quick look at those Thursday river stages here. It is 6:16 right now. It is 75 degrees.
According to a new poll, most Americans, they want the chance to vote to support abortion rights in their state. 70% of those surveyed say they want the issue to go back to the ballot box. 54% say if that happened, that they would vote in favor of making abortion legal.
U.S. monkeypox cases have doubled in less than 2 weeks. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention saying more than 10,000 people had the virus as of Wednesday afternoon. The country has had 5,000 cases less than 2 weeks ago, and the first U.S. case was reported less than 3 months ago. Right now, Wyoming is the only state that hasn't reported any cases. New York has the most, followed by California and Florida. Well, you're going to hear a lot about Afghanistan over the next few days as the world pauses to mark 1 year since the U.S. military left the country and Kabul fell back into the hands of the Taliban. So how is the country doing, and how are the Afghans who fled the U.S. adjusting to life here? Our Joe St. George reports.
All those stuff put my life in danger.
You were scared in Afghanistan.
Exactly.
For Nurah Hadi, it's a period of time that's tough to talk about. He was one of the thousands who fled to Kabul's airport nearly 1 year ago when the Taliban reclaimed power.
I am really very grateful. I have 2 brothers here, including me 3, and I have a wife and 2 kids. Hanzala, they're playing together.
Hadi knows he's one of the lucky ones. Hundreds of thousands of Afghans attempted to leave last year, but only around 120,000 or so were airlifted out by the U.S.
And I got to Philadelphia on October 12th.
Hadi is a recipient of a special humanitarian visa. Only a few thousand of those were granted.
It's the nature of human that everybody miss home, yes. Especially the parents who we miss.
There are lots of things to talk about with Hadi as we mark 1 year. We could discuss human rights abuses back in Afghanistan, or the economy there, which has virtually collapsed.
There's no work. People are really struggling. They hardly meet their primary needs.
But we were curious.
Bye-bye.
Just how has an Afghan family been welcomed into our country? Does Hadi want to stay?
They're really respectful, and I'm happy.
If you spend any time with him, you quickly learn
This is the time we eat.
the answer is yes.
That's what the schedule is.
He told me he's been overwhelmed with the kindness of those in the U.S.
We're Philadelphian now.
Currently, he's working for a nonprofit in Philadelphia,
I find jobs for refugees.
helping men and women just like him get jobs. He tells me, though, paychecks for Afghans here don't go far. Forget about inflation. Many are supporting multiple families, either in the U.S. or back in Afghanistan.
As an Afghan, I support here 2-3 families. That's what I can.
Wait, you're supporting 2 to 3 families
Yes,
here.
that's what I can.
His goal now,
The very famous Afghan bread.
open an Afghan restaurant.
That's a good job.
And I can tell you, his dishes taste so good,
You gotta try this.
I had to let my buddy Ben try it.
Always gotta feed the cameraman.
Hadi is no doubt a success story.
Thank you. Glad you're here.
But for many nonprofits responsible for helping men and women like Hadi, there is a question of whether the U.S. is unfairly limiting how many success stories can happen. Around 93% of Afghans seeking to leave Afghanistan and come to the U.S. have been denied.
How are you? Good. How are you doing?
As for Hadi,
This is some of America's food. Try the cherry.
I had the pleasure of introducing him to flavored ice before we departed.
Mango's bitter.
Another reminder of just how sweet his story is.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia, I'm Joe St. George.
We have breaking news this morning out of Opelousas. Police there saying a domestic dispute late Wednesday night leading to a fatal shooting on Halford Street. Police say when they got to the home, they found 44-year-old Jason Edwards with a gunshot wound to his chest. Police say Nisha Charles has been arrested and charged with 1 count of second-degree murder and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Time right now is 6:20. We've got more GMA coming up right after the break.
I'm Chloe Stelly from St. Ignatius School. Good morning, Acadiana.
From the KATC Weather Lab, here's Daniel's forecast.
75 in Lafayette and New Iberia. You've got Morgan City and Homa both at 74, 72 for Ville Platte, 74 in Jennings. Lake Charles is at 73, and you've got the upper 70s down along the immediate coastline. So far, there are some showers down there this morning, but the bigger issue is going to be that fog. Most of those showers are holding offshore. The fog has settled in, and there are areas where it's hard to see quarter-mile visibility in Lafayette right now, and that's even with a bit of a breeze. Winds out of the north-northeast, 6 miles an hour. There's just so much moisture left over from all of the rainfall we've had lately. We're going to get a little more rain out there today. Like I said, the bigger issue currently has been that fog. The showers more or less have kind of held offshore. There's plenty of them sitting out in the Gulf of Mexico, a little bit out through St. Mary Parish as well. It's been wet up along Highway 90. We will see more showers on the way a little bit later on today. We'll get a bit of a break, and then things will start to get churned up again. So in the meantime, we'll talk about the dense fog advisory that goes until 9 o'clock up along the I-10 corridor areas up towards north. So dense fog advisory from I-10 up through Rapides Parish, Avoyelles, and areas in between. We've got ourselves a day today where we're going to see another round of showers, another round of thunderstorms out there. Talk about an 80% chance of some rain, 60% going into tomorrow. So tomorrow is when we'll start to improve. Still unsettled in the way that summer often is, but it does improve rain chance-wise, although it will start to get hot again as we go through the weekend and on into next week, pretty consistently sitting down in the lower 90s. For today, another rainy afternoon expected. Could make an issue for pickup today as kids start getting off from school. The big issue as they head to school is going to be that fog. That will be your problem out for the commute this morning. Showers going to hold off until a little bit later on in the afternoon. 89 for the high, 74 for the low at 625 and a half right now. It is about 75 degrees.
Well, changes are in the works when it comes to animal control in St. Landry Parish. A new animal control ordinance is being drafted, but before it goes to the council, the public is getting a chance to weigh in. Trey Francis takes us to the first public meeting, which was held last night.
Parish President Jesse Bellard tells me the animal control books haven't been modified since 2005 and says the ordinance should reflect the models and issues the parish is facing today when it comes to animals. Parish President Jesse Bellard says fines have already increased for animals running at large. However, the ordinance will likely address the issue on puppy mills, would require you to get a $100,000 liability insurance policy for any vicious dogs, and could give animal control authority to issue any fines or citations. Bellard says he wants to make it clear this isn't about government control, but to address current issues and to protect animals. Here is one resident on the animal control ordinance modifications.
People at the last meeting were upset about strays in the streets and stuff, and that's a city problem. That's not a parish problem. So that's one of the things that really needs to be addressed, is to differentiate between what the parish is going to take care of and what the cities need to be taken care of. Because where I live in the country, we don't have a problem with strays.
The introduction to the ordinance will be brought forth to the council September 21st, and final adoption is expected in October. In Krotz Springs, Trey Francis, KATC, TV3.
Time right now is
6:27. For those of you celebrating a birthday today, and if you have to go to school, sorry. Happy birthday. Birthday's here on GMA.
What a birthday.
I'm your 2021 Spanish Festival King, Darren Romero. Good morning, Acadiana.
Welcome back, Acadiana, and welcome back to school for some in Lafayette Parish this morning. And where there's school bells ringing, there's also school zones that are back in effect. So joining us live this morning is Sergeant Robin Green with the Lafayette Police Department. Now, she's just outside of Lafayette High School this morning. And Robin, we have some safety tips, when it comes to navigating those school zones safely, but also, are the fines higher in school zones?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Robin, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? This is Katie.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're talking about school zones, and as those get into effect, are they higher, or school zone fines higher if you get a speeding ticket in a school zone?
So normally we don't get into discussing what the fines are, but to help prevent getting any of those fines, just adhere to the traffic laws for school zones, which means no speeding, no talking and texting on your cell phones, making sure that you give pedestrians the right of way in the crosswalks, and just being vigilant on the roadway, and that's how you can avoid getting any of those fines.
The kids that are getting to school, Robin, there are some safety protocols of getting on and off the bus, or if you're a walker, or maybe parents are dropping off their kids. What is the best ideas for them as they're getting to school on the school day?
Well, you know, with school starting this morning, there are more motorists on the roadway, and partially due because parents are getting out this morning and dropping their kids off to school. And so we want parents to just remember a few little rules that they may have forgotten since school's out for the summertime. Is whenever you're dropping your kids off, make sure that you're not talking and texting on your phone, paying attention, because you don't know if the vehicle in front of you, if the kids got out or not. And they may be walking around the vehicle. Avoid cutting lines and trying to go around other vehicles. And that's to ensure the safety of the children whenever you're dropping them off. Also, if you have a question for administrators whenever you're dropping off your kids, it would be a great idea to go and park and go inside the school. By staying and having a long conversation with the administrators whenever dropping off kids can cause lines to back up and trickle into the roadway, which also creates an unsafe condition for the motorists and for people that may be crossing the road, trying to get to school. We also want kids. Look, if you are walkers, do not cross the street in the middle of crosswalks. We have crossing guards at every school. Utilize these crossing guards. They're there to make sure that you get to school safely and in one piece and don't get hit. We urge motorists pay attention to kids waiting for buses at bus stops. Also pay attention that buses may be stopping. You'll see the flashing lights, the stop signs going out on the buses. Make sure that you are giving them enough space where kids can load and unload on these buses. We just want everybody to have a great first day of school, and if we can all work together and follow these rules, we should have a great day in Acadiana.
All right, Sergeant Robin Green from the Lafayette Police Department, you have a great day. Thanks for everything you're doing out there. And again, the bus drivers, the teachers, everybody, we hope you have a great first day of school back. Thanks, Robin. We'll see you later.
Well, over in Vermillion Parish, public schools are back in session this morning. Now we are speaking with Superintendent Tommy Byler about their safety rules and protocols going into the school year.
We have spent a lot of time updating our crisis plans, getting things in place. You know, we are still working on getting resource officers at the schools that we want resource officers. You know, there's a personnel shortage across this country, so you know, we've had to look at some different options. But school safety has definitely been on the forefront of our planning for next year.
Students in St. Martin Parish are also heading back to class today, and though there are many changes happening, Superintendent Alan Blanchard saying he's ready for things to return to normal.
At any school, generally, there's a culture with the faculty and the staff and the students, and there's it kind of assumes a life of its own. And I can remember my days as a teacher. It was a lot of fun to be associated with the school and the events around the school. So I know a lot of people are looking forward to getting back to that and being able to participate in those things.
5 parishes will be at Acadiana here. We'll be back in school today. Here are those parishes starting up. Now, Jeff Davis will return on Friday and Acadia Parish next week. And for the full list and back to school tips, you can head to our website, KATC.com.
From the KATC Weather Lab, here's Daniel's forecast.
Temperatures right now sitting in the 70s, 75 in Lafayette, 75 in New Iberia. You've got Jennings and Opelousas at about 73 and 72 degrees with foggy conditions in Opelousas and Lafayette as well. We've got visibility that's sitting at about a quarter mile in some areas, and fog is going to be the big issue here today as kids head back to school. Remember, they're going to be out. They're going to be waiting for the buses. There's going to be new traffic patterns, and in some areas up along I-10 and areas to the north, it's going to be hard to see, and that is going to include Lafayette and Lafayette Parish, where we've got visibility at about a quarter mile. Quarter mile from Opelousas through Lafayette on into Abbeville, down to about a half mile in Jennings, 3/4 of a mile in Lake Charles. Not too bad as you get on over towards Patterson, although the fog now starting to get into New Iberia. You've got some low-lying clouds through there. So just take it slow out there. It's not going to be too blanketing. There will be moments where the visibility looks a little bit better, but no point in getting in a rush, especially with the kids heading back and especially with new cars out on the roadways. As schools get going, we start to get back into the swing of things. Now, you've got showers and thunderstorms that are going to be arriving as you get into the afternoon. So what's going to happen is the sun is going to burn off the fog. We'll get a little sunny out there, some breaks in the clouds. That will turn things up. We'll get showers and storms back in the forecast again. And then as we go overnight, tonight it calms down. And tomorrow, pretty typical day. Going to wake up. It's going to be quiet tomorrow. Thunderstorms get going in the afternoon and roll their way through. We'll start to get back to a more typical summertime pattern for the end of the week and the weekend. Of course, that does mean it's going to be on the hotter side with some clouds today. Will help temperatures. Will be about 89 for that high. You get some of those showers, really helps kind of cool things down a little bit. Still going to be sticky. Heat index still going to be an issue, but will be an improvement from where we're going to be over the weekend, which is temperatures sitting down in the lower 90s with thunderstorms in the afternoon. 6:37 right now. It is 75 degrees.
This morning, new details about the alleged actions of a mother who now sits in jail accused of stabbing her 2 children, killing one of them. According to court documents, Janae Pettisclo FaceTimed the father of the 2-year-old and 4-year-old after the alleged incident so he could see them. Documents say the father then rushed to the home, broke in a window, and took the children to the hospital. According to the New Orleans coroner, the 3-year-old girl, Parish Roberts, died from sharp traumas to her neck, spine, upper chest, and shoulders. The boy, Jaseon Roberts, who is 2, is still in critical condition. Pettisclo was in a child custody dispute with her father since April. The father arguing she was not stable. Her family also releasing a statement citing ongoing mental health issues. The mother is scheduled to appear in court tomorrow.
And the family of a 2-year-old boy who died of a fentanyl overdose is planning to file suit, saying the Department of Child and Family Services failed their family. Mitchell Robinson was treated for an overdose 2 times before the time he died. The department was told about the overdoses, returning the toddler to his mother, Whitney Ard. Now, attorney Ron Haley says that something needs to change to stop this from happening again.
The name of it is the Department of Children and Family Services. Where were the family services offered to this family? There weren't any. And that cannot happen again.
Now the mother is charged with negligent homicide and is in jail without bond.
A Lake Charles kindergartner will be going to a new school.
Now this after a private Baptist school that she attended for pre-K said that she couldn't come back because her guardian is in a same-sex marriage.
Monday was supposed to be Zoe's first day of kindergarten, but instead she's spending it at home.
Well, we got called into the principal's office for a meeting. They informed us that Zoe wouldn't be able to go to school there anymore because of our lifestyle choices.
Jennifer Allison Parker and Emily Elizabeth Parker are in a same-sex marriage. They adopted Emily's 5-year-old niece after her father was in an industrial accident in 2020.
She lost her father, she lost her mother, and now she's losing her school, which she loves very much.
Zoe attended Bible Baptist Academy for pre-K and was officially adopted by her aunt last week. However, once word got around of her new family, things changed.
On the 3rd, we adopted her, and we went to open house, we got the uniforms, we got the fees.
And like a ton of bricks, the principal and pastor broke the news to them over the weekend.
The pastor met us in the meeting room and started talking about gender identification and that they teach the words of the Lord and marriage is between a man and a woman, and they didn't think this was a good fit.
Jennifer says the support they've received from the community is overwhelming and they are grateful. They even have offers from other Christian schools in the area.
It's a blessing in disguise. We have an opportunity to bring her to school here, which is a little closer, and let her make some new friends.
Alma Cerbo, 7 News.
The child's former school, Bible Baptist Academy, releasing a statement saying in part, at BBA, we're committed to instructing and living in accordance with the teachings of Scripture, end quote.
Time right now, 6:41. Still to come on GMA, the new Apple TV series about the heartbreaking decisions a New Orleans hospital had to make during Hurricane Katrina has ties to a now practicing attorney here in Lafayette.
And we've got ourselves another unsettled forecast out there again today. Fog also going to be a bit of an issue, so take it slow on those roads. We'll take a look at that commuting forecast coming up right after this.
My name is Avery.
My name's Cherise.
We're from New Orleans.
Good morning, Acadiana.
The Atlanta rapper known as Young Thug is facing additional weapons, drug, and gang-related charges. Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, was arrested in May for racketeering and criminal street gang activity. Now he's facing additional charges, including possession of a machine gun and controlled substances. Prosecutors allege he and 2 other people created the gang Young Slime Life in late 2012 and claimed to be aligned with the National Bloods gang. In a statement, his attorney saying his client has committed no crime whatsoever and looks forward to his day in court. We start our national headlines with former President Donald Trump invoking his Fifth Amendment rights while deposed by lawyers from the New York Attorney General's office on Wednesday. This comes following a 3-year civil investigation into the Trump Organization's finances. His team is denying any wrongdoing. This comes 2 days after the FBI searched Trump's Florida home regarding an investigation into classified documents.
And speaking of the FBI raid on his home, pressure is growing for the Justice Department to reveal more details about why they raided his property.
Because of the nature of the warrant, Republican lawmakers and conservative media are pushing the DOJ to break with their long-standing practice of not speaking about ongoing investigations. ABC's Zoreen Shah is in Washington.
The pressure continues to mount on the Justice Department, Attorney General Merrick Garland, and FBI Director Christopher Wray to share some details with the public of the extraordinary search that took place at former President Donald Trump's home Monday. Trump allies and even some of his critics are pushing the DOJ to break with its long-standing practice of not commenting on active investigations.